He's not a bat, he's a man who fights crime. And we're gonna watch him fight for a minute at a time. With John and Niall and a guest who doesn't rhyme. It's Bat Minutes!
Attention, citizens of fair Gotham, and welcome back to Bat Minute Forever, the show that reveals all about Joel Schumacher's wonder of a movie, 1 minute at a time. I am one of your hosts, John. Hiya.
Hey, and having a little sulk and storming off on that bike. It is I, Niall McGowan.
I'm used to that. You do that all the damn time.
Shit, you don't understand me, John.
I used to be cool like you.
You gotta help, go out and help me kill this guy or I'm gonna leave.
Okay, fine, yeah, okay, I'll do it. Whatever. If it shuts you up, I'll help you.
Because I guess how bizarre a thing that is to actually have somebody in your house who keeps insisting that you help them kill somebody. That's what Bruce Wayne's dealing with here. It's just like this, this asshole keeps coming up and telling me I need to go help him murder a guy.
Oh, well, before we... get into that. I was going to try and make a joke there, and I realised it's probably not appropriate for the podcast. But before we get into that, we should introduce once more our very, very special guest, who you will recognise from this whole wonderful week and from all the way back in Bat Minute 89. We have the one, the only, Travis Bow.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
Yeah, and you have come back for minute 87, and the minute starts with Dick unswaying his master. And it ends with Dick pushing the old bike on his travels.
Yeah, he's out of there, man. He's getting on his bike and going.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those things, too, like when you see him head off, there's no feelings of like, oh, no, Dick, come back.
Wait,
it's
come back.
It's too bad he's gone.
Oh, no, you're an adult and can go live your own life. Wait, stop.
Yeah, he storms off in a huff, doesn't he? He's like, these are Dick's frozen peas. This is Dick's copy of Swank. I'm out of here, sucker. But we will get to that. So Bruce won't be swayed by Dick's pleas. He's stopping it all tonight. Specifically tonight, because Chase is coming over. He's going to tell her everything. Bruce, you've known this woman for a few days. It's not been months. There's no way it's been months in the plot of this film. I don't want to say you're rushing into things, but maybe have a think.
Although, to be fair, it kind of tracks with the previous two movies.
Yeah.
Because I guess if it'd been around this time, he would have been like, all right, I'm going to tell Vicky Vale I'm Batman. And then the end of Batman Returns is like, all right, now I guess I'm ripping off the mask and letting it all show.
He just wants to tell someone, the poor guy.
He's just like, yeah, that's fine. It's been 2 weeks. Yeah, this is about the time you reveal your Batman to people, isn't it?
I will offer one, piece of evidence that could speak to the passage of time in this movie. And it's that Edward Nygma is able to establish a company, build a layer, build boxes, distribute them. Yeah. He's able to form a company and get it in full production.
That is literally the only thing I can think that would say it's been longer.
Yeah. Although that's the thing in the commentary, Joel Schumacher is like joking about that, saying like, yeah, it's pretty ridiculous that he's able to do all this so quickly.
He's that clever.
Yeah, because I guess the onslaught of the box would be like that'd be at least a year or something to get all that manufactured and marketed and put out to people and stuff. It's like it'll be a lot of planning involved in that kind of thing. But it could be that no, he did it all in like 2 days. It was amazing.
That's how smart he is.
One thing though, like I think because I put it up in the listeners' cave just the other day, can't not mention on air from going through some of these old magazine articles about Batman Forever, actually getting that one picture they had of Chris O'Donnell, and then underneath it they wrote, "Look, it's Robin, the boy wonder. oh, if you replace the word boy with man and the word wonder with stud, it's Chris O'Donnell. It's
Man
like,
stud.
Oh yeah.
yes, I'm 100% on board with referring to him as Robin the man stud from the rest of the
Yeah.
run.
That should be his new name. He doesn't go off and become Nightwing in this story.
Right.
He goes off and becomes Manstud.
Stud. Because that's the thing, though. It makes it even weirder, though, when they put it in that context of, like, this is written by, like, you know, some horny magazine writer who's just like, oh, he's supposed to be the boy wonder, but it's a man stud. It's like, you shouldn't be mixing the term boy and man stud in a sentence ever. Like, it just makes the whole thing so much
Yeah.
weirder.
But what if the boy wonder was hot as hell?
It's weird because in that same feature, though, Chris O'Donnell himself seems very sexually charged because they're asking him, like, oh, you know, would you come back for another one? And of course we know that he did. But he says, like, oh, I'd definitely do another one. I just wish they'd bring Catwoman back. I think Robin and Catwoman could have a serious romance. At least I'd be willing to try. And joking about that. And then they're talking about, like, the like mere sentences later talking about like, you know, the other movies and stuff. And he says, like, oh, Returns was too dark for me. But Catwoman was just so damn sexy.
Wow.
But the rest was just too damn... I think maybe he just got in this gig because he's like, oh, is that Catwoman going to be in it? Like, trying my luck with her.
Set was horny as hell.
Oh, God, yeah. Maybe that's just like, yeah, like, that's why Joel Schumacher hired him. He's like, oh, birds of a feather flock together. It's just...
Everyone's just gagging for it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Val Kilmer was so frustrated on set. He was the only one not getting any. Like, everyone else was copping off, and then he was just like, I'm here to do the damn work.
He wants to make a film.
Yeah.
Everyone else just wants to get it on.
Chris O'Donnell's just like, oh, I couldn't get Catwoman, but I got some woman who looked a little bit like her and made her put on a Catwoman outfit. So,
Close enough. Close enough.
although knowing that though, considering Poison Ivy in the next movie, I wonder if it was like a kind of thing that he mentioned to Joel, like, can we get a bit more sex appeal in here for me? It's like, all right, well, Poison Ivy, here we go. You're gonna have friggin' oodles of that in the next movie, kid.
Oh, yeah.
That would not surprise me, that statement, you know, because obviously, you know, let's for a moment, you know, assume that Catwoman came back and there was some sort of romance. That would obviously create a love triangle. And what do they do with Batman and Robin? They create a love triangle between Batman, and Poison Ivy, and Robin.
I could think it too, like, from watching Batman and Robin just the other day. It's like every scene Uma Thurman's in just boosts that movie so much.
She makes it.
Yeah, she is, like, the best thing in it. Like, she's the only person you're completely sure, like, oh, she knows what she's in. Like, she's fully aware of how stupid this all is, but she's just leaning into it. Like, she's doing, like, what Frank Langella did in Masters of the Universe. Is like, well, I'm just, all right, stupid movie, but I'm going for it. And so she just totally knows, like, oh, this is a goofy, campy, silly piece of crap. Whereas Arnie's kind of like he's probably just being Arnie on set. And then Chris O'Donnell's just trying to do the best he can with the script and stuff. And then Michael Goff's scenes are actually genuinely good. Like, he's
so
actually
good.
putting in a genuinely good performance and stuff.
Well, you know, it's his finale.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's peak
yeah.
Alfred in that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting to it next year, but that was the scenes with him sitting talking to Bruce Wayne in the bed and stuff. I was like, if this was Michael Keaton, this would have been a heartbreaking scene.
Yeah.
If you had actually seen the guy from the first movie reuniting again and stuff, like, it would have been a good scene. But now it's just like perpetually smiling George Clooney.
Yeah, he's
Like-
always got a little grin on his face.
Even when he's telling Dick Grayson Alfred's dying, he's smiling as he's saying it. It's like, what's the matter with you, dude?
Now, going back to what we said earlier in the week about the silver fox, George Clooney these days, he's the definition of a silver fox.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We'll get into that with next season.
we can go to like the DC archives and haul out that Bob Kane idea. I was like, Clooney, you're up. And he's like, you want me to star in another Bob Kane property? Because didn't go so well last time, man. Like, no, don't worry. we're on top of it.
It can't fail.
Uwe Boyle's coming to direct this one. So
Yes, get him on board.
it can't fail. But yeah, so yeah, as you're saying there, John, Bruce does like, oh, Chase is coming for dinner. I'm going to tell her everything. So come upstairs and we'll talk. But it does feel like the conversation's done.
Yeah,
man. I don't know what else you're going to say to him.
Yeah.
That's basically my note too. Like, I don't think it doesn't even seem like Dick follows after him. I do feel like it's a weird line to end on because the body language says we're done here.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. It's a really well framed scene, actually. I do like the two of them set up in sort of, similar outfits. What Bruce is a bit more distinguished, I guess, because he's a bit more seasoned at this stuff. And again, both of them in black. He's a little higher up, and it actually is. It's a really well framed scene. He's got the high ground. In this scene, actually. You know what that means? He's won the argument.
It's telling you all you need to know about what's happening with Dick as well. He is becoming like Batman, even to the point where he's dressed like him right here.
Yeah. It would be a bit much if Bruce went up the stairs and then shut off the light or something, just left Dick down there in the dark by himself. And then it was like, oh, in the last 5 seconds, I forgot you were there. Sorry. But I have to say though, I don't know if it's because he's so tired from that giant Christmas tree he had to put up, like a mere 10 months before. Alfred letting it skimp on the old Halloween decorations here. Like he's just like the one jack-o'-lantern. That's it.
Well, he's English, Niall. English people are really miserable when it comes to having fun. We don't like Halloween here.
Okay.
It's you very rarely see people going overboard. A lot of people just don't want any part of it. It's upsetting because I love it. And he's English, so
Yeah. I wish that, because this is the first, I think, hint that this takes place around Halloween.
Yeah.
At least at this point. It's not a Halloween movie throughout the rest of the movie, but I wish we see that pumpkin, and I wish that was like the one creative outlet that Alfred had, and it was like this intricate and just expertly carved pumpkin. It's like it's a standard pumpkin. It's got some simple eye shapes and a big grin. But
it's well done, but not branching out.
No.
Yeah. Were you, Travis, the person who I think put up on Twitter around Halloween that is like a tradition to recreate the long Halloween?
Yeah, I basically
jack-o'-lantern?
do that every year. Yeah, that's my go-to pumpkin design.
Oh, amazing!
I remember this one time. I think I don't make jack-o'-lanterns all that much myself. I think maybe it was because I felt I peaked too early. Where way years back, when I was living with former guests of the show, makes it sound like they're never coming back. Guests of the show, Gaz Flint. We did jack-o'-lanterns one time. I made one that was the bat symbol but arched up into a smile, and then I painted it gray and did stitches through it and then put a hat on it, so it was like the scarecrow. And that was like, after that I was like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna top this. So I just kind of not really made one since. I'm really overselling it.
No, it was amazing. But you retired on a high.
Yeah, I was just like, it would be a bit much to ask Alfred to do something like that, because it'd be a bit too much like, well, I've worked the bat symbol into the thing in the front of the house. But
speaking of getting Alfred to do things, though, right? Alfred's slacking on his duties as well. Or Bruce is a cheapskate, right? So Chase rocks up in a cab.
Yeah.
Why hasn't he sent the car for it?
Yeah. Look, you want to wine and dine this lady, but she's like, I'm not skimping out in a ride for her.
He's like a billionaire.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Maybe that money was spent on a professional jack-o'-lantern carver or something.
Very expensive these days in this economy.
Oh.
Deleted scene of like Alfred bringing Dick and Bruce in to carve the pumpkin with him, and it just ended with a big fight where like Dick was stabbing the pumpkin, going, "You know whose head I wish this was, Bruce?" He's like, "Would you leave me alone with that friggin' murdering Two-Face stuff?"
No, I can't sanction Bruce's behavior, though. I understand a normal person. You might not send a car for your lady friend, but he's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
He usually sends Alfred out to do his dirty work. Go get him to pick her up.
Yeah. That's like we never saw Selena Kyle arrive, did we?
No.
We saw her leave, but no, I don't think.
Oh, maybe does it track to in '89? His date with Vicky in the house. He has a whole like, oh, did you find the house okay? So I guess maybe that is a consistent thing with Bruce Wayne. He's like, oh, you make your own way here.
It's part of proving you want me.
That's the first layer of the labyrinth to get to me.
That's genius, actually. I've changed my mind.
I do kind of wish Alfred had opened the door and he was wearing a Dracula outfit or something, though. Like he really got into it.
Yeah.
Oh, boom, yes. Oh.
He'd make a great Dracula.
That'd be a nice little nod, too, that Michael Gough was in Dracula back in the day.
Yeah. Everything's connected.
What would Alfred dress up, though? Like, if he was having to do Halloween.
Dracula.
Would he be Dracula? Do you think?
He looks like Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
I keep wondering, what Alfred's tastes would he be like? Oh, I'm actually playing Sir Reginald Buckinghamshire from my favorite tomb. It'd be some really obscure thing that everyone else is just like, Alfred, what the hell are you even dressed as?
Either that or it'd be something shocking that really surprises you. I am the lead from Driller Killer.
That'd be great too. Like the whole household gets into it. Like Chase is showing up here, and Bruce is just coming down the stairs with a load of VHSs.
Oh,
He's
what?
just like, oh yeah, we're gonna stick I got something to tell you after the first couple of movies. But are you? Just let me know, Vicky. Are you a Jason or a Freddy fan? Because I got both of them. Don't you worry.
What if Chase showed up like Michael's date in the office, dressed up like a cheerleader? Like, you said it was a costume party.
Yeah.
Like, what if she showed up, the only one in costume? Everyone else is just their normal suited, or vice versa.
That's quite funny because there is a lot of our American guests didn't know. Actually, no, hang on. I was talking to someone. It wasn't a guest. I was talking to someone online. It wasn't on a show about how the biggest comedy here. Actually, no, edit that out, Niall, because I think it was the show. Well, either way, I was talking to someone about how the biggest comedy here of all time is called Only Fools and Horses.
Mm.
Right. And a lot of Americans don't seem to know it. But there is an episode where they get invited to a costume party and they go as Batman and Robin from the 60s. And I can't remember if someone was making fun of them and lying that it was a costume party or plans changed. Either way, they arrive there and it turns out someone's died and they're having a wake.
Yeah.
So they're just at this really somber wake dressed as Batman and Robin.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a bit then with the thickest character on the show, Trigger, comes over and he's like, "Yeah, I feel like a right idiot dressed up like this." And he's just wearing a tux and stuff. And I'm like, "What are you on about?" And he's like, "Well, I'm dressed as James Bond, aren't I?"
Oh, that's a classic.
That was one of the best episodes of the show. That too.
And tying into this, of course, the
Yeah.
most important fact. We never go off topic.
But actually, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the fact this is the second Batman movie framed around Halloween. Well, not framed around Halloween, but set on Halloween. Third movie in a row actually that occurs over a holiday, because the first movie, again, a deleted scene they took out. Thank God
yeah.
they took it out though, with the little girl and is it Halloween? It's like that's a deleted scene that you want deleted for the rest of all time.
Yeah.
And then of course, Batman Returns. I don't think that we did the whole is it Halloween thing, and then I think as we were doing the minutes and stuff, looking at all the newspaper headlines, it kept saying October and things, so it was around Halloween. And Batman Returns set of Christmas. And now again, it's like you can't get rid of this guy in the holidays.
They were setting up the sequel to be about the long Halloween.
Yeah, I guess you would think that Batman and Robin would be set on Valentine's Day or thereabouts, really, wouldn't you? But I don't think they ever make that connection.
No.
I think they just didn't bother piecing it together. Although the whole Halloween thing though does feel like it's very last minute. I think it's really like how are Riddler and Two-Face going to get up to Wayne Manor? It's like,
Oh, I know.
yeah,
They'll see some kids in costumes leaving the mansion.
it's like, oh quick, get a jack-o'-lantern out the front.
Yeah.
But Alfred, he greets her and brings her inside. But then we see Dick down in the cave. That sounded obscene. Dicked down is as the kids say, in the cave, walking over to one of the bat suits. But there's also a lot of gadgets. And I noticed, are these handcuffs on the left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a freeze frame of it. Yeah, he's got handcuffs. He's got above those some kind of gun-shaped thing.
Like maybe a tranquilizer, I could imagine. For
Yeah.
Batman.
there's all the stuff. Remember at the beginning of the movie, he did have a specialized grapple.
Yeah.
That was used to hoist the safe and stuff in that moment. So I think that one of them, like, there's a bunch of those there. And yeah, just various shaped batarangs and stuff.
Yeah, in the center.
I like him having handcuffs because it makes sense for Batman to use them, even though we never really see it in the film.
The rest of this movie is so damn kinky. Of course he has handcuffs.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Although again, this is actually, we get a little close up here of. I remember we mentioned when Clarice was on the weird top half of the bat suit that we were positing. I guess the nipples are clasps, so he puts on the top half, slips on the bottom half. The nipples bind it all together.
Well, of course, they wouldn't be there for no reason now.
Because at this point, it's like, what the hell is this? I guess maybe this is just the mask on a little bust. Maybe that's what it is, I suppose. But
yeah.
It does look weird. It just looks like half the bat suit is sitting on a table, and then the rest of it's melted into the middle of it somehow.
You've got to assemble it. There's parts to this for mobility's sake.
And I'm always a big defender of the Kilmer, the Panther suit, as it's called. Production. Beyond the nipples, I think this is a great Batman suit.
Beyond the Nipples, title of your biography.
Niall McGowan, Beyond the Nipples.
It could be like a memoir about this podcast after we're finished with the Schumacher movies. But what happened next? But when Dick is coming in, the light goes on to the full bat suit behind him. That looks fantastic.
Yeah.
That's really like that. That's a really beautifully. If you had to show off like a Batman suit, this is the kind of lighting you want for it. I was just gonna say, it really reminded me of in '89 actually, when he's up in the bell tower, and then he has the Joker is like, oh, there appears to be a bat in my belfry, and then he spins around and stuff. Looks really like that. A great moment. I remember actually in the long lost pilot episode that me and John recorded. I think that was the mutual thing we both loved at the end of the Batman trailer, because that's what we're talking about. Like the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
They had that shot of him spinning around and just had the Joker's laugh, and it was just like, oh my god, it just cut to the symbol. Didn't even have the title of the movie. I was like, oh my, jeez, that was great. That's how you sell a Batman movie.
It really worked. It was exciting for me, and it's like, I've watched the movie 1,000 times.
Yeah, I think if we put it on now, I'd be excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's just fantastic lighting there, and it only serves to emphasize how lame the Robin costume is then when you see Dick packing it away.
That's what I've written, yeah. It looks really out of place. I think maybe that is the point. Like, look how dumb this suit is. But I can't get over it. It's so bad.
What I like about it is how bright it is next to the mantle of the bat. And seeing it right there, I really wish that the final Robin suit was a little bit brighter like this.
I get that, because you could say that here, at least, it's illustrating that's the brightness within him, within his spirit, his soul. He's still young. He's still happy. Maybe, well, his parents are dead, but you know what I mean? Like, he has the possibility of happiness.
Yeah.
And there's the darkness of the bat next to him.
Yeah.
I think that works as an idea if it's not this version of Dick Grayson, though, because all we've seen of him is being a surly, angry little Dick.
I think
basically.
You could keep a bit of that, though. You could keep the rebelliousness of him, but show more scenes earlier on of him like living it up.
Yeah,
like partying, maybe going wild. I know he has that bit going out on the town in the Batmobile, but
yeah,
that's about it.
Actually, yeah, if you had more of that kind of stuff, that actually, that would work a lot better. But as a concept, that is like, oh, this is the Boy Wonder's bright, vivacious outfit next to the glowering bat.
Yeah.
But with this particular surly Robin, it's like, I guess it doesn't really thematically work, but. I guess that's why Alfred's like, tone down those colors. It doesn't suit his personality.
And plus, it kind of, as much as I like it being bright thematically, it kind of doesn't make as much sense if you're sneaking around and fighting crime.
Well, yeah.
But then, what makes sense in this?
Yeah, that was the original point of Robin, is I needed a bright, shiny distraction so that I can operate in the shadows and...
Yeah, it makes sense in that way. Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll note in the novelization, they specify that he's actually taking the new suit. Like I understand why they've changed, like they've not gone that way in the finished film, because this kind of makes it seem like he's on his ass. This kid, he's out on his own, but all he's got is this stupid circus outfit.
Yeah.
So he's not got a hope in hell of getting anywhere with like this little cotton outfit that's not got any armor or anything in it, and like if you're flat out, well, it would ruin the reveal of later on if you show him taking the final Robin suit already. And it would give you a little bit more of a kind of like, oh, maybe he could be all right by himself. Yeah. I kind of actually would have preferred, like, because now he's got, like, theoretically, he should be like a kid in a candy store here. Because he's like, okay, I'm going to strike out by myself. He should be doing things like maybe he takes like a gauntlet from a bat glove. And maybe like he takes some like night vision goggles that will end up being his mask. He takes a little bit of armor and stuff, but then he puts like the tunic on top of it and stuff. So you're getting a kind of hodgepodge, like in Spider-Man: Homecoming, when you see the early draft of the Spider-Man outfit that Peter Parker puts together.
No, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So then you kind of getting like, well, I guess this kid's gonna go out and do his own thing because he's just kind of stealing like shin guards from Batman and stuff, but he's not got the full outfit. But he's kind of mixing the two things together.
That's how he should have shown up when he saved Batman at the whatever construction site.
Oh, that would have been great. Yeah, he can use this costume as the base, but then apply bits of armor he's taken. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, too, you give him like night vision goggles or something too. It doesn't look like a little silly domino mask, and even then you can have the white eyes because it's like, well, it's not his actual eyes; it's just the lenses of the thing and stuff. But,
could have been a prototype of his sonar suit eyewear.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, this is all fantastic.
Oh, but yeah. So then we see Dick packing everything up. Noted he's got the cape back in play there as well.
Yeah, he likes a stylish cape.
Yeah, because the cape was just there as a little nod when the Flying Graysons showed up. You know, at the very very beginning of their scene.
Yeah,
and then I kind of assumed like, oh, Dick wouldn't have that anymore because he didn't bring it to save Batman. But yeah, apparently no, he is. He's packing that too.
He was in a rush, you know. He didn't have time to put a cape on. You've got to make sure the clasp's all okay. Too much work.
And he was going to be hanging upside down. It would have looked bad.
Oh yeah, might have covered his head. Might have had problems.
And yeah, I guess that's kind of the end of the scene, really. Like, we got a little bit of Dick going down the tunnel, and that's the end of this minute. You guys got anything else you want to bring up about this minute in particular, or?
No, there's not. It's a good minute. I really like it, but there's not a lot going on. If that makes sense, there's like literally two things happening. But it's all good. Like, I really like him approaching this equipment and whatnot. I've never really thought about that before because in the context of a whole movie, it kind of doesn't stand out. But breaking it down like this, I really enjoyed just watching him staring at the suit.
Yeah. I do like how scenes like this, and I think the first minute we had, I didn't really mention the lighting, but I do like the way that they've lit the cave here and here lighting up all the various weapons and then the costume. Yeah, it all looks really cool. Yeah.
I guess it's one of those things too when you place it in context, and it's like, people have already seen him in the finished Robin outfit on the poster. Yeah. And like Bruce Wayne saying, I am Batman no more. And the movie's called Batman Forever. It's just like, well, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be Batman again by the end.
But maybe he's passing the torch to Dick. Dick is now Batman.
Yeah. So, in many ways, this would have been, had Michael Keaton stayed on. You could have used it as a kind of little thing, like, oh, maybe he is going to pass the torch on to this kid because we've seen him to like near 3 whole movies now of him doing his Batman thing. Maybe it is time to pass on the torch.
Yeah,
that could have been the way to make the Batman No More thing work. Is if it was Michael Keaton who is tired of, maybe being Batman or ready for an end or looking for a way out. I could see a version of a Michael Keaton Batman Forever with the Batman No More story kind of incorporated.
Definitely.
But with a brand new Batman who looks younger and looks like he's just getting started, it doesn't work. But.
The thing, if this wouldn't have occurred due to circumstances of space and time and whatnot, but like if Chris O'Donnell was playing Terry McGinnis and it was Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne, this would be like, all right, here we go. Like it's even nowadays, you're just like, oh, this scene, or like a scene similar to it was like, oh yeah, some asshole kids come in to grouchy old Michael Keaton's house, telling him he wants to be Batman and stuff, and now he's stolen an outfit. He's going off and doing his own thing. 100% on board with that. But
yeah.
It's always the fingers crossed. He was like, yeah, I never know. Maybe Warner Brothers will see the money in, I don't know, at least the streaming show. I'm just like, well, Keaton wants back in. Then who are we to say no? But well. But yeah, usually at this time of the week, Travis, we always ask the guest about their past with the movie.
Okay.
So, I know you'll be, of course, covering it on Real Comic Heroes.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah.
Yes, but do you have any fond memories of seeing Batman Forever? Was it a major part of your adolescence or childhood or anything when it came out?
Absolutely. Yeah. This was 95, so I was 12. So this was my Batman movie. I do remember seeing Batman 89. I remember the trailer, and I remember seeing it like for the first time at home on VHS. And I couldn't see Batman Returns like in theater, or it took a while for me to be able to see that one. I think that one, my parents thought it was just a little too dark. But this one, from marketing until home release, I was all about this movie. It's like the only thing I wanted for Christmas that year was this movie on VHS. So Christmas morning came and I got, I think, 2 Batman Forever posters, an action figure, a couple other things, and no Batman on VHS. My parents orchestrated it so that I would get it when we went to some friend's house later that evening to have Christmas, that I would get it then, because they didn't want me opening it Christmas morning and then all I'd want to do is watch Batman Forever.
Yeah.
Right. I understand that logic, but try explaining that to a child afterwards.
Man, I was heartbroken all Christmas Day. The one thing I wanted, it's like they got close to the mark, like got me all this Batman Forever stuff, but didn't get me the movie. And I don't think I gave them a hard time about it. I think I was, like, it's, silently to myself, just crying inside.
Oh, you were that devastated you couldn't even speak.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I did end up getting that movie that later that day. And, this movie was just on heavy rotation. But let me think. What year did Batman and Robin come out? Was it 98 or 97?
97. I think
Okay.
it was a very quick turnaround.
Yeah. And I think it's weird because in that short time between the movies, like that one I remember seeing in theater and being disappointed. So I was still like aware enough that, like this one has some weird things that aren't like the other movies. It's when we first see bat nipples and a lot of neon and that sort of thing. But like for me, I completely was okay with it in this movie, but then by the next one it was like it's too much. It's they dialed it up way too much. So this one for a long time just fit right in a perfect little sweet spot. And then it's like I got older and I was like, oh, people make fun of this movie. I'm gonna be quiet about my love for Batman Forever. So I'm excited to hopefully get to come back for Batman and Robin, because there's a lot of that movie I do like. And you guys kind of talked about it last minute, all the liking the Poison Ivy scenes, and I think for me she's the worst part of the movie in an already bad movie. I can't stand her. But
really?
I love the Mr. Freeze stuff. So, and I like George Clooney in the movie. So
Oh my god, this is gonna be like friggin'.
Yeah.
I feel like we have just jumped straight into Batman and Robin now to get all this sorted.
Yeah,
Jesus.
we'll move on to the next movie.
Holy moly, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Particularly too, like knowing how good Mr. Freeze can be. They actually hear someone say,
oh yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, we've come now, of course, to the time to reveal the answer of the riddle.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Have you been able to guess it? Read it out again, Niall, so we can...
Okay, yeah. Riddle me this. Until I am measured, I am not known. Yet how you miss me when I have flown. What am I?
I might know,
Oh.
but since I'm only the secondary guesser, I will pass it over to you first.
I keep thinking with the line about "till I've flown," I think of like as the crow flies, as a unit of measure. But I know that's probably not the answer. So no, I'm not getting it.
Okay.
Well,
I thought time.
you're right, John. You get it.
Of course.
So you were very close. You were on the right track.
But yeah, so John, I guess you are exempt from your own coin flip now.
I am.
This
In
week.
fact, I'm. You also may be exempt from this next challenge of the coin flip because I can't find the coin. Hang on. Where are you?
What's this now?
Right, here we go. There we are. So, since you failed the riddle, I now have to toss a coin to decide whether you live or die.
Okay.
Which you signed up to in the small print on the contract that we sent you.
Sure.
Yeah. So, for your survival, heads or tails?
I gotta go heads.
Heads. Here we go. Oh, it's heads. You survived.
Nice.
Hey.
The thing is, I would have ordered or requested. So ordered sounds very bossy. I would have requested a stay of execution though with you, Travis, because I'm dying to get this Batman and Robin figure out what the hell is going on in your head.
Well, nobody said it had to be an instantaneous execution.
Just
Could always-
it's the slow knife.
Yeah.
We could poison you, like a long-acting poison, or slow. We could put little bits in your coffee every day.
Oh.
Okay.
That thing really, geez, that freaked me out in Oz. There's a thing where they're trying to like kill a guy, but they actually get them. They just have someone working in the kitchen, and they basically just keep putting really small, like micro fragments of glass in his food.
Oh.
So it completely tears up his insides without like over a period of time. It's like Oz is a hard hitting show, and that freaked me out. You barely even saw anything, but it was just the idea of it was so horrible. It was like, but hey, that's HBO for you.
Yep, that sounds about right. But we will head off into the dark night now that we can all celebrate the survival of our guest here. And in fact, would you like to tell people where they can find your show once again, or your shows, plural, I should say?
Absolutely, yeah. I did one of these movie by minutes things. My partner Eric Nash and we covered the director's cut of Zack Snyder's Watchmen, all 186 minutes of it. We did that a couple years ago, so that is it's online in its entirety, so you can find that just by searching Watchmen minutes. And we also broke down Damon Lindelof's, as far as we know, just season 1 of Watchmen on HBO. We did that one episode at a time, so you can also check that out. So we're at Damon's mercy. So if he decides to do more with Watchmen, it doesn't. Sometimes it seems like that's he's given his final word on not coming back for more, but then sometimes it seems like maybe. So
That was a great show though. That was really
for sure.
Was not expecting anything going in. I was just like, oh, fuck, what the hell? And then
yeah.
I think around the time of Jeremy Irons friggin' catapulting dead clones into the sky.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
And your show is as well, because
Oh, thank you.
I associate it with my house, because I bought this house and moved in at the same time your show started, I think. So
Okay.
I was brand new here, and one of the first things I was doing was listening. So I couple it with the niceness of home in my brain.
Well, that's what an honor. That's awesome. Thank you. I'm very sad that we weren't able to get you on the show. We did have Niall on, and we got to talk about beans, which I know Niall loves. So
The mental scars are still there. Yep.
yeah.
Niall is wrong. Beans are great. Anyone who disagrees with me is a heathen.
Yeah.
And should be catapulted across a stately home. And join us again on Monday for more Bat Minute Forever. If you want to talk to us in the meantime, though, come to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even Tumblr. We're all over the place. Just put in Bat Minute. We'd like the only thing that comes up. But do subscribe to our Patreon and buy a t-shirt on TeePublic. Oh, and give us a review. I haven't shilled that for a while. Go on iTunes and give us a review. Because I think people have dropped off doing that. Not for us, I just mean in general. People have given up to it. Reviews. But no, they do help. They do help. So do that, and we'll see you again on Monday. Au revoir.
Next time, Kissed by a Rose on the Grey Matter. There's confessions over cuisine on this long Halloween as both components of a couple conspire to come clean. But as Chase professes her feelings to the Guardian of Gotham, will a falling flower prompt another flashback to blossom? Find out next week. Same Bat Pod, different Bat Minute.
Ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.